Hey up everybody, my name is Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk a little bit about how sometimes it feels like life just won't give you a break, and that can make you feel like you're taking part in a victim mentality because you're frustrated that all these different things are kind of weighing in on you, right? So right now at the moment I feel like the most recent thing is my tooth. Right here, this one here, it just feels really uncomfortable. It just feels a little bit sore, right? And I'm going on Google, I'm looking up stuff about it. It's all shit like tooth decay, gum disease, fucking freaky shit, you know? That I'm gonna have to go to a dentist and get it all sorted out. And whenever I go to the dentist, setting up the appointment is a pain in the ass. That's always like an hour of trying to figure it out. You go to the dentist, they tell you to do it online. You do it online, you don't hear anything back from them. Then you go back to the dentist, you say, hey, I tried to do it online, you didn't come back to me. You go, well, just try doing it online, but better this time, I suppose. And you just keep doing the old rigmarole until you just end up not going. And then that's probably why I've got this tooth issue here. You know, that's probably what's ended up happening, is that I've allowed this to happen because I've just been so lazy as to not even bother going. And it's like, I'm trying to go to the dentist, and it's the same with, say, therapy. I tried to set up therapy, right? Because I thought it's apparently good. It's good to go to therapy, innit? So I set a thing up the NHS, and the NHS sent me a text that said, right, go on this online portal and book your first appointment. I go on the online portal, I tried to book my first appointment, there's no bookings. I go, oh, okay, well, I guess I won't do it for a little while then. So I go back on it a couple days later, no bookings. Go back on a couple days later, no bookings, right? 3 weeks pass, right? And then I go out to Lithuania and I go see a gig and I have a really, really lovely time, right? And on the way back from the gig, I get a text, right? And it's the NHS. And the NHS are going, you haven't bothered to book your appointment. It's like, you didn't have any fucking appointments to give me. So they then cancelled everything. So now I've got to go back to square one where I can go to the online portal as blank, right? You know, you go to your driving theory test and you fail it and it's like, yeah, that's my fault, all right? But still, I had to go there and then I had to come back and now I've got to book it again. There's another 23 quid again and again. If I fail it again, that's another 23 quid. And these are all small issues, right? And I'm not saying them as if like I'm complaining in the sense like that, right? I'm just getting across that there's lots of little things that build up, not necessarily to any kind of breaking point, but I'm just saying we all know that feeling of when it feels like life is just not giving you a fair shake. It just feels like there's always that extra thing. There's a neighbour of mine, right? And she's been dealing with so much shit lately. First the pipes in her thing burst, then she got rats, right? Then she got a cockroach problem, right? Then her heater fucking boiler went down. And all these issues happen like one straight into the next, straight into the next, straight into the next, right? She never got a break in between where she could sit back and go, all the problems are sorted. She's always in the middle of a problem, or at the beginning of a problem, or at the end of a problem. She's never outside of the problem. And I feel like this is very common for everyone. This is a universal thing, right? And I'm not saying it as if, you know, just having a moan without any kind of productive kind of aspect to it. So let's try and get into a productive side of it. How can we deal with this fact? How can we deal with the fact that life never gives us a fair shake? Well, first off, it's the mentality. Life gives you this thing as if like life owes you something, right? And that's a very common right-wing talking point where it's like there's no such thing as a free lunch and all that sort of shit. And it's like, well, I don't see why there couldn't be such thing as a free lunch if we just worked to make the world a better place. But at the moment, at the present day, there isn't any such thing as a free lunch. There's no such thing as a fair shake. You're not going to get a fair shake, so you better just nut up and deal with it, right? So how can we nut up and deal with it? Because that's the bit that they always leave out. That's the bit that they always don't bother to talk about. And that's kind of the most important bit here. How do you deal with the issue, right? Well, I feel like there's a few key solutions, right? One is the most generic thing possible, mindset, right? They always go, you just need to change your mindset, which, you know, generally means just don't allow yourself to get bogged down by these things. You know, say this dentist thing that's just happened to me, right? This tooth thing. The reason I'm making this video is because I don't want to let it get on top of me. My tooth hurts. It feels like I'm tasting iron. It feels like I'm tasting blood, right? And it's making me think maybe I've taken too many iron tablets lately. Maybe my dose of iron is too high, and that's why this is all happening. You know, I'm hoping it's not the gum disease thing or the fucking, you know, the tooth decay thing. But if it is that, then that's what it is. And I need to have that moment of, for fuck's sake, and then deal with it. You need to get over that initial state of disappointment or agony or misery before you can move on to the workaround, to the solution, right? It's solution-based problem solving rather than that's just nothing load of fucking corporate jargon, isn't it? Solution-based problem solving. That's just like answered questions, isn't it? Doesn't mean anything. But that's part of the problem, is it's very hard to just enable the solutions that you're told to do, right? You're told to just solve the issue. You're told to just get over it. You know, when I was going through a divorce, I saw so many things which is like, you just need to get over it. It's like, well, yeah, how? How do I get over it? Is it like, if I ever think about her again, that means I'm not over it? Well, how would I know if I've never thought about her again? Because I've not thought about her for 5 months, right? But I might think about her again at some point in my fucking life. So am I over her? Doesn't mean I brought her up in this video. So clearly I'm not, right? Do you see all the different things here? And it all comes from the initial, you need to get over it, right? How? What does that mean? What does that look like, right? We need to materialize these solutions rather than talking about the problems, right? We need to focus in on these solutions as a key, distinct thing, rather than just these abstract ideas. Get over it, sort yourself out, solve the problem, pull yourself up, you can do it, all that generic motivation shit, You need to do something specific, right? And I can't tell you exactly what that's going to be because I don't know, right? None of us know, and that's why we're all in this mess. We don't know the solutions to the problems, we don't know how to get ourselves out of these problems, and that's why these problems persist. Right? And if you take that up a scale, that's why war's still happening, right? That's why shit's going on in Iraq or whatever, Shit's going on all over the place. And how are we going to solve it? Well, I don't know. I don't know how to solve Iraq, right? But we got to do something. Someone's job is to sort out Iraq. I was thinking about this because I was watching House MD recently. I've gotten into it. It's quite fun because you can just sort of jump in and out of episodes. You don't need to watch it in chronological order. I hate shows like that where it's like they just set you up with a cliffhanger. It's like each House episode is its own story with a basic formula. Starts off, there's a man or woman, they get injured, cut to the credits, House sorts the issue out, right? And that's every single episode. But I was looking at it thinking, why don't these doctors just sort the issue out? And I thought, hang on, they're trying to, but I'm telling them to just sort the issue out, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. What does a doctor sorting out fucking testicular cancer or some brain hemorrhage look like? How do you sort that out? MRI scans and bullshit, all these weird things. But there is a solution. I don't know what that solution is, but they're trying to figure out the solution. And it's just kind of made me think that we need to have concrete, solidified ideas of what our solutions are to our problems, because we know what the problems are, but we don't know what the solutions are. We only know a vague gesture of the solution. We know that it's out there somewhere, that the solution will come one day, right, in an airy-fairy sort of way. Oh, don't worry, man, you'll be okay, get over it, you'll sort yourself out, blah, 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 blah. But we can sort these things out, and there are specifics, right? So let's try and think of one action that you can do that's not gonna be a huge change in your life, right? How about this? Next time you wanna go on your phone, right, when you wanna just blindly, check your phone like this, right? Next time you wanna do this, hold off for 10, 15 seconds before you do it. Just 10, 15 seconds. Say you're on the train, right? And you just like that. Right? Hold off for 15 seconds, right? And I bet your phone usage will go down. I don't know if it will. I've never tried this. I didn't even try it on the way over it, right? But it might work, and it's worth a go because it's easy, right? Now, obviously, there's bigger, larger, more grand issues that we could be trying to sort out, and I don't know the solutions to them. Again, I don't know how to sort Iraq out, but there's someone out there that does. There's someone out there that's an expert in foreign policy, and there's another person who's an expert in foreign policy in a different way, and they can come to some kind of agreement, can't they? They'll probably have different ideas on, the specifics of the solutions, but they'll probably be able to find some decent way of merging all these ideas together. There must be some overall solution, even if it means that, one solution causes this issue and another solution causes this issue. It's all about, there's pain management. Same way with my tooth, right? I'm gonna go to the dentist and I'm just gonna be like, listen, can I just Can I just go and see a dentist? Stop sending me on the fucking online portal. I'm sick of being sent to online portals for everything, right? That'd be a good solution, but that's a systematic one. Can we just stop doing online portals, right? And once we do that, that's another thing solved, right? There's so many things that we need to sort out, and I can't begin to tell you how we can sort them out, but I do know that I can identify issues, right? And a skill I want to learn is to be able to identify solutions. So I think that's going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. Hope you all got something out of it. Let me know your thoughts on this idea of trying to sort out problems. Is it good? Well, duh, obviously it's good to sort out problems, but you know, this whole thing, am I just a spouting right-wing fucking shite of like, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps, all that shit, just sort your mindset out, right? And then there'll be people probably going, oh, that's not right-wing stuff, that's just generic stuff. And it's like, sure, it's just generic stuff, whatever. Use whatever terms you want, right? Doesn't matter. But the point is, there are solutions to our problems, and we just need to find them. You know, it's a needle in a haystack, but at the end of the day, a haystack's only like that big, right? And a needle is like that big, so it can't be that fucking hard, right? Famous last words.